Hello everyone. So this marks the beginning of the final lesson in our unit on quadrilaterals, beginning with the topic of rectangles. Now we all have an intuitive definition of what a rectangle is. It is a quadrilateral where all the angles are equal. But I'm assuming we know a little bit more about that because of common knowledge, but let's actually explore why some of the famous properties of rectangles are the way they are. So, problem 8.15, what are the measures of the angles in a rectangle? Well, this seems like such an obvious question, but we want to be able to justify the reasoning why. Now, what do we know about rectangles? Well, we know that rectangles are quadrilaterals that, or how do you word it? Are quadrilaterals where all the interior angles have the same measure. That's just straight from the definition on the last slide. Now, the objective is to find out specifically what that measure is. Now, part of this definition is that rectangles are quadrilaterals. Well, what do we know about quadrilaterals? Well, one of the first things that we proved was that the interior angles of any quadrilateral adds up to 360. So, because the angles of a quadrilateral must add up to 360 degrees, and let's just say if the measure of an interior angle in a rectangle is some value x degrees, we have that, well, there are 4 angles in a rectangle and they all have the same measure of x, so we have that 4 times x degrees is equal to 360 degrees. Divide by 4 on both sides, and we find out that x equals 90 degrees, which is basically our proof. We have proven that assuming we do not know what the interior angle of a rectangle is, we just call it x, we can logically deduce that it has to be 90 degrees no matter what situation, based on purely the definitions that we know. So that gives us our first property about rectangles, which is that all of their angles are right angles. They have a measure of 90 degrees.